Well, welcome back to Just Drive It. We're working on the 65 Fairlane, trying to get the pieces off of it so that we can send them into Choco Stang to get the power steering control valve to work again. Come along with us. Well, do you ever have those friends that you actually get on the phone and start talking to them, and instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is recording content for you guys, you're on the phone talking to them? Well, thank you, Jason, because he told me, get off the phone and record. So you have Jason from Indirect Connection and Rabbit Transit Garage to thank for this video. Come along. All right, where we're at right now is I went ahead and put this up on the ramps, chalked up the back end of the car so it won't fall. And we're gonna go underneath this thing and see what we're looking at. One thing I have done already is I have removed the cotter pin that we're working on. So where we're at is right here. The cotter pin was in this piece. What we'll have to do is take that loose to drop the ball and sector valve. We got to loosen up this clamp here, and then we have to screw that all the way off. But there's also another pin in there, and I got to go find it again so that we can actually do it without screwing up the threads. So fun? Not really, but it's got to be done so we can fix this car, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we cleaned this up a little bit. Right here, we took a bolt out and nut, which goes through here. There's also a little clip right in here. Not sure if you can see it too well, that you can run it through, and that helps keep that straight. But this will also clamp down. Let me get up here. This will clamp down and get you to where you need to be. The other piece we pulled off is we pulled this castle nut off up here. And thankfully, we have the right tool for the job to actually separate this without banging on it, because you really don't want to damage that piece of junk right there, because they're becoming harder to get in rebuildable condition because people have junked them before. So this one, I believe, is the original to this car and is actually going to come off and go in to be rebuilt. Okay, this piece here, let's get in focus. That piece is out. Now I've got to disconnect these. I already started, but those got to come loose, and then this thing has got to screw off. Now normally there's a pin that holds it in place, but something tells me this may not be the original because it moves pretty easy, as in so we'll see. Okay, we open this up, slid this back, and now you see there's a slot with a pin in it. That pin will keep you from rotating this off. If you break that pin off, then you could actually bugger up the threads that are inside that. So we want to get this pin out, that roll pin out, without breaking it off. That way this thing can come off like it normally does. People have a tendency to just put a wrench on it and break it off, but you will screw up the threads. That was one of the things the guy at Choco actually went through and explained to me. And just like that, there's the pin. Put it on there, twisted it, it pulled it right out. So now we get to pull this thing the rest of the way off. This is what caused all the trouble. The seal for that little area right in there, and you can see how loose it is. The seal on this side blew out, and it was just pouring stuff out of it. So this one, hopefully we'll clean it up, put it in a box, send it to Choco Stang, get them to fix it. They are going to have to replace this because unfortunately it mushroomed the top even using the proper tool. So, well, I don't know. Actually, it didn't. Cool. So that's still there. Bolt's still here. This is what we got. Now, I'd have to go looking again, but right here is going to be where it screws on. If you've got a 65 Mustang, you're screwed, because 65, 66 Mustangs, that's all one piece. It's actually made into it, so you have to take that bar right there totally off. Thankfully, the 65 Fairlane is like the 67 and up Mustangs, in which it actually has a screw-on style one. So, thank goodness for that. So, there we go right there. Well, that's it for this episode of us pulling it apart. I'm going to do a separate one for us putting it back together, but this is what it took to get it off. It wasn't too bad. It's just have to take your time, be a little bit patient. If you like it, please like, subscribe, share it, Rumble if you're on Rumble, comment if you want to. If you do me a favor, go over and put into your search engine on YouTube for the hashtag noname500. You got a bunch of channels on there that those guys are trying to get their 500 subs so that they can be able to be set to go for the No Name Nationals. They want to qualify, so they're doing the No Name National hashtag on their channels, as well as the No Name 500. So thank you for your time. Y'all have a good one. Just drive it.